The Real Estate Revolution radio show is designed to educate Missoula homeowners and home buyers how to navigate the uncharted waters of the current Western Montana real estate market in an educational, often edgy, and high-energy fashion with host Jason Baker. Jason will teach you all the secrets on how to win with real estate, from listing your property to purchasing investments. Jason has you covered. Be sure to check the home of the week, the good news, and current market updates each week. Jason is revolutionizing the real estate experience for over 100 clients a year.
It's Real Estate Revolution Radio with Jason Baker. And Jason, happy Sunday to you, my friend. We got a big show today.
You know, it's amazing the talent that, you know, when you start posting your face personally around on social media.
Are you talking about
my
face?
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
People just start calling going,
no.
I just gotta be on Real Estate Revolution. It has everything to do with Jason.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
No, it's a big show. We've got my for the people just tuning in or that haven't listened to the show before. First of all, thanks for being here.
Yeah, Sunday fun day.
I know it is. It's chill. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, it's half decent. I don't know. Can you tell if people click off halfway through? Is there a way to tell? No, it's we gotta over the next little bit. We're just waiting for my buddy Cody. So I own my own real estate brokerage. It's called Arise Real Estate. And I run my brokerage as a team. Mm-hmm. And what I've come to realize over the last, I've been doing this now for, I guess, 8.5 years, is that clients deserve more. And when I say that, it's all too often we see, when it comes to selling or come to buying, very little communication, very little I don't know. I mean, you're paying a reasonable fee service when you go to list your house, and so you should demand more, is what I always say.
Get what you paid for.
You should, and you should get more than what you pay for, both in net value and also in communication and service. And so we started operating our brokerage as a team. In other words, we provide the leads, we provide the administrative staff so that our agents and also myself can focus on the real estate rather than the adminning of the file. Because while you're adminning, there's no way you can be out showing your listings, and there's no way you can be out finding listings for the list of buyers that want certain homes.
Too busy pushing the pencil.
And we had it, a few days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, we had our administrative day, and we can't, thank our 4 admins enough. I mean, without them, we would be, quite frankly, nothing. I mean, because we would be virtually doing all the ever important busy work all day long. We would not be able to sell our client's property or help our amazing buyers find homes. And so the team aspect allows us to all focus on the one thing, which is our client, and also give them a great experience. Because if I'm not good at paperwork, then my admin is. Does that make sense?
Right.
And so that's how we run everything. And so, but nationally, we wanted to be able to find more ways to, provide a better experience. And so we joined a group called PlaceInc, which has just been the value. It's my friend Ben Kinney. He started this Place thing with a few teams. I think we're in the top 25 or 30 teams nationwide in this, but now there's almost 150 teams.
What is it exactly?
And so PlaceInc is a tech platform, a training platform, a coaching platform, and it bolts onto my brokerage for the sole reason is we want to be a one-stop shop. We want to be a mortgage company, a title company, insurance company, a home warranty company. We want to be nobody needs to go outside of our brokerage or our app for anything home over the next few years. Cool. And that's how I met our guest today. His name's Cody Cummings. He is the star, one of the stars of the show, Flipping Down South, that airs on A&E. Yeah, and it's my latest binge. It's great when and so I was fortunate enough, I was in Scottsdale a few weeks ago down for a Place conference and also for something called Built How. I'm always trying to improve my mindset and also to figure out how I can serve my clients better, because they're all I really care. If I lay awake at night, it's because I'm thinking about how I could better serve my clients and try to come up with a system, right, for that. That's all I care about. And so I was able to listen to him speak about how to invest in properties, him and his partner, Paul, and he's going to be kind enough to be on our show later today.
It's a great show. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I've never flipped. I've never considered flipping. Yeah. I know that sometimes those shows make it look easy.
Yes.
But it definitely is not.
It's not. My wife and I flipped a house last year, and it is a real nerve-wracking process because, of course, in Missoula, you're not going to buy anything for inexpensively, even a flipper house that's in disrepair. Yeah. You're going to pay a mint for it even then. But you have to figure out, if you've never done it before, how much are all these things going to cost? And then at the end of that, after commissions and title fees and all these other things, what will the actual profit be? Well, depending on what time of year where you place it on the market, depending on what the market's doing, depending on whether you made the right choice. And you never know you made the right decisions throughout the whole entire process until, I guess, it closes and you can see what you walked away with.
Yeah.
Well, one of the strangest things was, while I was at this thing a couple weeks ago in Scottsdale, I found out that I shouldn't have sold that house, and I actually should have kept it and used it as a rental.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of tax advantages to doing that, and especially one called accelerated depreciation. Now, I'm not a tax consultant.
That's just,
but for 1 hour, I listened to the mistake I made.
Yeah.
But, I'm like, oh my gosh, that would have been amazing. Because, it's that time of year where you have to always write that, that wonderful check. And then real quick before we, I don't know how much more time we have on this segment because you're the one that keeps track of that so wonderfully, which I appreciate because otherwise it'd be like a 12-hour show because I'm going to shut up, right?
Right.
I got a call from someone the other day and I just want to kind of clear the air. He said, Jason, you do, you're everywhere, you're on, constantly on the radio and you're constantly there. And I don't say that in an egotistical kind of way. He's like, are you actually, when I want to sell my house, the person who we meet with and who we work with?
Right.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
I actually am
Santa
a human.
Claus.
I'm not Santa Claus. I'm not a droid. I'm I bleed. I sweat. Like these kinds of things. Like I'm a human being, and I love. One of the greatest blessings of my life is to meet new people, and hopefully make them laugh a little bit while we're there, and I'm just a dude. I'm just trying to help people. In their journey of wealth. Yeah. So I wanted to say that because I was like, who do they? I mean, like, I
I can see that being one of your promotional t-shirts, though, is a Santa Claus of real estate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, side profile probably looks kind of the same.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We do have our friend Cody who's going to be joining us once again. Cody from Flipping Down South on A&E. What kind of things do you think we're going to be asking Cody today?
Well, I want to know more, but I always, again, this is an educational show, and I want to find out, if you're just thinking about getting into flipping, some of the do's, some of the don'ts, how to find funding, what kind of things people are looking for, and, what's popular, is it a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, or a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 3-2, or whatever it is, and then do we flip them all? Should we keep some of them, like the mistake that I made? I'm susceptible, I was unaware of that tax rule, and I am aware of it now. And the only way to get aware of something is to mess it up.
Right.
And also, a little life hack here. The more you mess up, the more you're learning.
Right.
I don't say go out and intentionally screw something up.
No.
But the more you fail forward is kind of a, something that I listen to every day. If you're not failing, you're not learning, you're not moving forward. Yeah.
What is it? Fail to do, but don't fail to don't or something?
It's exactly how I would have put it.
I got it. No, here it is. Try and fail, but don't fail to try.
That's exactly right. Now, that sounded way smoother.
That was
See, here's the thing. See, the first time you failed, the second time you nailed it. You learned.
I nailed it.
You did that on purpose.
It's a learning experience.
You are. I'm telling you, you're light years ahead.
Right. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to get Cody on the line real quick. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with Cody from Flipping Down South on A&E right after this. You're listening to Real Estate Revolution Radio with Jason Baker.
Hey, if you are in the market to make the most money for your home, Sean Hannity here with some important advice. Now, look, I'm an active investor. I have bought and sold a lot of properties in hot, cold, moderate markets. And one of the lessons I have learned is this: hire the agent that knows how to create the most demand for your home. Now, if I needed to create demand in this market, no question, there's only one real estate agent I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Jason Baker of Rise Realty, Montana. Now, Jason can give you an instant cash offer, or with his accelerated demand program, well, he turns up the marketing and gets you the most money for your home. While the average agent sells a home or two every month and only spends a couple of $100 on marketing a year, Jason spends thousands of dollars every month to attract thousands of buyers. Now, that helps you generate multiple offers and sell your home for the most money possible. Now, anyone can give you a home evaluation. Call the agent that creates the most demand. Call Jason at 552-4443. Online, jasonbakerteam.com. That's jasonbakerteam.com.
From listing your property to purchasing investments, Jason Baker has got you covered. Time for more of the Real Estate Revolution Show.
Welcome back to Real Estate Revolution Radio with Jason Baker. Jason, we got a special guest on the show today.
It's unbelievable. We have Mr. Cody Cummings from Flipping Down South. Now, Cody, tell me, what state do you live in again?
I live in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama.
Now, where is that at?
If you pointed your finger right to the heart of the Southeast, you'd land right on Birmingham, Alabama.
Now, wait a minute now. So I was in Destin, Florida, back in, I don't remember when, months ago, and they called that the Redneck Riviera because I think there's some people that come from your state down there to the beaches of Florida.
So the people in our state have 2 vacation spots, and 2 vacation spots only. The one is Panama City, Destin, Gulf Shores at the beach. And then the other is Gatlinburg, Tennessee, in the mountains, and that's where everybody goes for their vacations and their honeymoon.
Yeah. Oh man, that is amazing. I got to tell you, brother, it was so good to meet you over at the Built How conference down in Scottsdale, and I was so interested in what you had to say. Some of the stuff you guys were saying up on stage there, and of course, my wife and I have been binge watching this TV show. And and I just think what your knowledge that you've gained with the courage that you've had over the last years doing this new thing is that this guy is an ultimate entrepreneur, right? Him and his partner, Paul.
For our listeners who aren't familiar, though, what exactly is the premise of the show?
Yeah. Flipping down south, the big pitch was for us to put the South on display and specifically the real estate down here, because there's a lot of the more developed, areas of the country where it's really challenging to find great investment properties, and that is not the case here. That's kind of what we specialize in, specifically affordable family housing. We just believe in the utility of the dream of home ownership and building wealth through real estate, and we try to deliver on that here. And our goal with the show was to just sort of open the business up and show people how that works on the renovation side. Because, we've got the flipping and investment business, and then my partner Paul and I, and then we've got a sales team as well, and that's where we're partners with Jason on that side.
It was so good. So we're part of this Place platform, and then. But what brokerage do you work at down there in? Are you an Indy, or are you with a national franchise, or?
No, we're with Keller Williams.
Okay.
I'm an investor in the market center that we're at as well. So
nice, man. Yeah, and so this Place platform has just been so instrumental in our growth here and our brokerage and everything else. And that's how I came to know at the Place event that we had in Scottsdale. There was so good. So, but anyways, that's amazing, man. So, so you're from Alabama down there. Now, listen. Now, Casey, did you hear that everybody down in Alabama is related?
No, we're not going to start with this.
It's a matter of degrees.
Yeah,
it's a matter of degrees.
There's no family trees. There's just there's telephone poles.
Just closed forest.
I love it. Hey, we told him the show was going to be edgy, didn't we, Casey?
I was just waiting. I was waiting for him to reach through the phone and smack both of us.
No, he loves us. He loves us to spite ourselves. Now, how do you? Okay, so here's the thing. So, I sit there and I'm watching a show, man. I'm cracking up laughing the whole time. You boys are nuts, and I love that. But it's something that is, for some people, like did you have to, is this something you apply for? Like, how did the whole thing start with the show, the Flipping Down South?
Yeah. Hey, great question. It honestly sourced to our social media.
Yeah.
Particularly Paul and Instagram, especially. Paul had really gotten, because Paul is kind of on the forefront of the investment business, and I'm sort of on the forefront of the sales business.
Nice.
So he was just got really intentional around a lot of the stuff that he's posting with progress pics and like using appropriate hashtags and trying to get involved in those kinds of streams of attention.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was A&E, which so the show's on A&E.
Yeah.
It streams on Hulu and Amazon and a bunch of the other minor streaming platforms. And what we learned, this has given us a huge insight into the business of TV, which is really cool. And basically what we learned is that A&E back in 2020 decided that they were going to allocate a large block of their budget to real estate shows. And when that happens, they issue a whole bunch of talent scouts across the country to go find the people that are going to be the stars of those shows.
Yeah.
So Paul got contacted in his Instagram DMs by a talent scout, and it ended up being legit. So he did an interview, and then we did an interview, and then we did probably like 8 more interviews. and later on found out that they had NDA'd like 500 companies and ended up greenlighting 3, and we happened to be one of those 3, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's unbelievable to go to 500 down to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty good. You know what it is? It's like I get like when I look at Cody in Paul. So and I always making fun of Paul, man. I said like walking man bun, like oh boy, like it's got like you got that, and then Cody does not have one hair out of place, man. So I mean these guys are like total Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you got camera crews following you around all the time, you got to look sharp. Right?
Here's the thing. If I ever did that, there's no way I would ever get. If there was 500, I'd probably get down to like 499. You know what I mean? Because for me, the camera, Paul, the camera, Cody adds 80 pounds, maybe 100
for sure.
So I just couldn't do it, man. This is why I'm on radio.
Right. Exactly. Same here.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of dad bod jokes flying around here, Cody, while we're on the air, brother.
Speaking of which, it's not a dad bod. It's not. A father figure.
It's a father figure.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I love that.
I'm going to have to use that one. Right. That's for sure. So what about your family life, brother? You married? You get kids? Tell me more.
Engaged to be married.
Yeah.
Getting married in September.
Nice.
Which I'm really excited about. No kids. We got a dog, which was a lot for me, given all my other responsibilities. So, and we're getting married in the Dominican Republic, and so I've spent roughly 45 minutes on that wedding, which has just been a huge blessing.
Oh my God.
So it's really exciting. It's exciting times.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. When are you getting married?
September.
September the 17th.
September here. Yep. Oh, that is unbelievable. Yeah,
That's during hunting season up here, man. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
it's during football season down here, which is a much bigger deal, and that's part of the plan because we're not inviting very many people. So it
was funny because I got married on September 10th, and that's because I didn't bow hunt back then, Casey.
That's pushing it.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
I
only waterfowl hunt, so I just got to be freed from basically October 1st.
One of the things I was hoping to get out of this conversation is a commitment from you guys to take me elk hunting.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Well, you're talking one of the Casey's like bow hunting extraordinaire.
Dude.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you don't want to come in within a half mile of me if I have a bow in my hand.
Yeah, I'm like Tim McGraw's Indian Outlaw. I can shoot a buffalo.
If I'm gonna do it, I want to go bow hunting.
Yeah,
I've been following like Cam Haynes and Shane Dorian and like those dudes for a long time. So
but
that'd be badass.
I'm telling you one thing, man. We got on my place though. We have heated blinds, so it's not roughing it. So they come there. We have like little nail clippers in the blinds,
espresso
machines.
Yes.
We keep you Hollywood, baby. We keep you Hollywood. Yeah, for sure. Well, so when you guys, I was just fascinated. Like I was taking notes so fast because my wife and I are thinking about doing, more investment stuff up this way. Like how, for those that don't know what flipping a home is or what a flip is there what is that like in a nutshell?
I think it's finding properties that are run down or that need to be updated or need to be repaired, and then making investments in those repairs and then selling it for a profit after doing those repairs. I think in a nutshell that's what renovations or flipping is.
Yeah. So in a flip, you're gonna buy the property. You're gonna most of the time do something to it to improve it in order to increase profit margin. So it's a good way to build capital and use that money perhaps to buy other properties or fund other business ventures or whatever else. But you're also
I think you touched on actually a really important point, which is flipping houses is not investing in real estate.
Right.
That is what flipping houses is just generating another source of active income that you can then use to purchase other properties and hold, which is what investing is.
Exactly.
So I think that there's a big misunderstanding sometimes around what flipping is, and there's certainly a romanticization, let's say, of the flipping process because there's just so many variables, and people think that they can just do it, and it's just always so funny to me because it's like there's so many steps. Like, how do you find the property? Yeah. How do you design it relative to the market? How do you find the contractors to execute the reno? And how do you price it on the back end and market it in a professional way? Like, you have to do all those things at a high level to be able to run a project that's profitable. And most people can do none of those things.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny how people think that they can just jump in and figure it out.
Yeah, that's because you make it look so easy on the show.
I know.
The studio makes it look so easy. It's not us.
The editing is Perfect.
Yeah, it is. Well, so what you're saying is you can't actually buy a house and flip it within 30 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, I could do
It takes
that.
a good bit longer than 30 minutes.
I kind of figured.
What is the average time to flip one of those houses?
I'd say about 10 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends a lot on the scope, you know. I think when a lot of people think about flipping, they think, paint, countertops, flooring. That's actually a pretty rare. I mean, we're hoping. I'd like to get into more of that just because life is so much easier. But it's really hard to find those kinds of deals because a lot of people can do those deals. So for us, a lot of times it's a full rebuild. You know, we buy a lot from the city. You know, we're focused a lot on restoring blight in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So a lot of the houses that we buy might have been vacant for a decade before we touch it.
Right.
So a lot of times, you know, like if you look at the ratios, a lot of times people spend, you know, the bulk of the reno or the project budget on the purchase and then a very small amount on the reno. That's almost always the opposite for us. You know, we might buy a house for, I don't know, $30,000 and then put $100,000 into it and then
Right.
sell it for $200,000. And most times those numbers are flipped for other people.
You know, some people, they're just like, oh, you know, they fault the guy for, you know, making an honest living. This is hard
Yeah.
work. This is not just, this is risky. This is, you know, and I think we should say that there is risk involved with it. It's risky.
Tons.
It's hard work. But also, you know, what you're doing in the end, a lot of times you're helping an amazing family get into a very quality home.
Yes.
At a
Yes.
right price, number one, praise God. And then number two,
Yes.
what you're doing is you're improving that neighborhood. So imagine a house that's sitting there like a haunted house, you know, for, you know, or as Paul would like to say, and I was going to ask you what a murdery basement is.
Well, if you've ever been in one,
You know.
You'll know. That's right. It's like you'll find like Jimmy Hoffa down there, you know, like, who's that?
Exactly.
But what you're doing is you're taking this thing where kids could go in there and get hurt, right? You could, you know, it could be, you know, I don't know, drug den. You know, maybe I watched too much TV.
Something straight out of a Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah, that's right. Scooby-Doo, the painting with the moving eyes. Yeah.
Old man McMurray's house.
Yeah, and you're improving that neighborhood, which doesn't that like improve the home values in the area? I mean, aren't you doing something really good for the community?
Well, you know, it's funny. That's an interestingly phrased question. You know, because I think for me, if I think about, you know, what some of the central focuses are for us, it's just taking responsibility for our community and not sitting back and saying, "Man, I wish someone else would make this place a better place to live." Instead saying, "Hey, we are going to make this place a better place to live." Yeah. And what I love about home renovations is that it's not a figurative thing. It's a literal. There's a patch of ground, and you're going to make this a better place. And so that's something that's a big focus of ours. It's like, if we're going to spend our life doing something, I want to leave it better, man. When this is all over, and so a lot of the backlash that we get, because we work a lot in transitioning neighborhoods,
sure,
and a lot of the backlash that we get is the gentrification discussion,
yeah.
And the big point that's super important that we want to always really focus on is there's a huge difference between revitalization and gentrification.
That's right.
And revitalization is the focus. You know, you're not gentrifying when you're taking a vacant house that's been vacant for 15 years and there's water pouring into it every day. That's not gentrification to make that beautiful for a new home. That's revitalization.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes it a safer neighborhood. It makes it the home values increase for the people that are actually living there, which gives them equity.
Yeah.
So I think it's an upward spinning spiral rather than the opposite.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. I mean, we should always leave things, you know, better after we're involved with them than before. I think that's a good motto to live by in business, life, and everything else. That's 100%. For sure. I know that we have to take a quick break right now, and we're going to go ahead and do that.
When we come back, we're going to stay on the line with Cody because we want to do the featured house of the week kind of with Cody.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We're going to talk about a haunted house down there in Alabama.
Old man McMurray's house. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Be back with more Real Estate Revolution Radio with Jason Baker.
Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here with some personal advice for home sellers. Now, there are various companies or agents that will offer to give you cash up front for your home, but be careful. Now, often there are dramatically lower prices or hidden fees that the average person can miss, and that can cost you a lot of money. That's why I prefer to work with a great, smart real estate agent that truly knows the local market and can give me the best advice and put the most money in my pocket. I'm talking about Jason Baker of Rise Realty, Montana. Now, Jason can give you an instant cash offer, or with his accelerated demand program, Well, he turns up the marketing and gets you the most money for your home. But more importantly, he can help you look at all the options with hundreds of potential buyers, and that creates demand for your home and helps your home sell at a price and deadline that you agree to, or he buys it. Don't leave money on the table. Talk to the only agent in town I recommend. Call Jason at 552-4443. Online, jasonbakerteam.com. That's jasonbakerteam.com.
From listing your property to purchasing investments, Jason Baker has got you covered. Time for more of the Real Estate Revolution Show.
Hey, we're back with more Real Estate Revolution Radio with Jason Baker. Jason, as always, we like to have our featured House of the Week segment.
You know, we happen to have one. You ever heard of that place called Flathead Lake, baby?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we just...
You're not going to tell me about that island, are you?
Oh, yeah. Now, we're going to buy that for me, I thought.
Yeah, $72 million.
$72 million.
I got that laying around. Yeah. That looks like some Pablo Escobar stuff up there.
It very well might be. Yeah, it very well. I think you'd have to have that kind of money in order to buy it.
Right.
But what I do
is this more affordable
up there? This just slightly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a great client of mine. She inherited this property. It was built back in the 50s, and probably the house is a tear down. But we've got 4 acres here on Hard Rock Spur. It's 28,562 Hard Rock Spur, right on Flathead Lake, about 180 feet of frontage.
There is frontage. Cool.
Oh, there is absolutely frontage. Yeah, and you got water rights in the lake there, and for me, I'd go ahead and take the house down. We're not assigning any value to the house, or it could be, it could definitely be, converted. But yeah, it's on 4 acres and subdividable from everything what I can see, and so you could build 2 properties there and throw a septic in and get water from the lake, or go ahead and drill a well and go through all that. But the prices have been reduced down to $699.9, which
with frontage is sets of steel.
Well, there was an 1.5 acre property, approximately 1.5 acres, just to the south of it, that sold for $7.25. So I think this is a real good value for people if they want to be on the lake.
Yeah. And you can see it on the website?
Yeah, you can, absolutely. Yep. Just Google us is the best way to find us, and just type in Jason Baker Team, and it'll pop up, and you can scroll to the bottom of that website and see all of our active listings there. Most of them are under contract, because that's kind of what's going on. So,
what a bad problem to have, huh?
Yeah, well, we're back with Cody now, brother. Thank you so much. It's been so informative, just to educate the public here in up here in Montana, because I know there's a lot of people out there that would like to, create wealth through real estate, which is, kind of our job, is to be their financial advisors and stuff like that.
For those of you just joining us, we're on the phone with Cody from Flipping Down South on A&E.
Yes, A&E show. We got a movie star, baby, right here.
He's a celebrity.
He is a celebrity, man. Like I said, if you missed it, I said, man, this guy doesn't have one hair out of place. I mean, this boy's on point, man. Wears a suit every day. Gee, I wear Sitka just about every day. Is that professional when I go on a listing appointment with it?
That's that Armani camo.
It's the Armani camo. Yeah,
it depends on the client, though, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it depends on the client. That's right. So what's we got about a minute or two before the end of the show. So real quick, what's the number one source or sources for when you're trying to identify a property? What are some of the ways in a nutshell that you find those?
Well,
without giving away all your trade secrets.
Hey, I'm a fan of giving it all away anyway.
Thank you.
I think that there are sort of 2 parts to that, So I'll just focus on one. The first is the qualities in a house that you look for before you even actively try to contact the seller.
Yeah.
But the second is how to find the deals, right? So, and I think that the second piece is probably the more important piece. Mm-hmm. Most people don't have access to investment properties because they rely on secondary sources to try to find those, like wholesalers, let's say, or agents that are bringing them deals. So in short, the real power, if you want to get the best deals, is to just go straight to the source. Yeah. You have to find the house you want to buy, and then you got to chase the seller down, and then you got to make them an offer. And that's all. That's what we do. That's all we do. We find houses we want to buy, and then we work to get them on the phone or meet them in person and make them a fair offer. Yeah,
we're going to talk more about that. Cody's been kind enough to say that he'll come on next week's segment too.
Oh, good. So. Yeah, we got more questions for him. I got a lot.
We definitely. I do too. I'm just getting more and more as it goes on. That's for sure. You poor guy. We're gonna have him in for the. I'm just done. We're gonna give the show over to Cody. I'm just out here. I'm just gonna sit here and listen.
Right. Here we go. Yeah.
Hey, this is all for my Montana trip, bro. So
man.
I'm fired up,
We cannot wait. We cannot wait to have you up here, brother, for sure.
Yeah, we'll tune in next week when we have Cody from Flipping Down South from A&E. He'll be back on as a special guest next week, right?
You bet.
All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Cody, and thanks everyone for listening. If you missed any of our recent show or even today's show, you can check it out in the on-demand section at newstalkkgvo.com. It's Real Estate Revolution Radio with Jason Baker. We'll see you next Sunday.